You've been lied to about entropy. Not deliberately, not maliciously. Entropy is the engine of evolution. Let me show you what I mean. The standard lie. Thermodynamics tells you entropy always increases. Systems move from order to disorder. Energy disperses. Structure collapses. Eventually, heat death, maximum entropy, zero complexity, the end of everything interesting. And yet, trees grow, stars form, consciousness emerges. Life organizes against the supposed trend toward disorder, building more and more complexity over billions of years. Standard physics says life is fighting entropy, swimming upstream against the inevitable slide toward chaos. That's backwards. What entropy actually is, entropy isn't disorder. It's information density at transformation boundaries. When a tree dies, its structural information doesn't disappear. It compresses into the soil system. Nutrients, patterns, chemical relationships. That encoded information becomes the substrate for new growth. The entropy increase is actually information being prepared for the next cycle. Death isn't the end, it's the compression phase. The cycle? Standard view says entropy increased. Disorder won. Structure collapsed. But look closer. That tree's material feeds the soil. Its decay pattern creates microhabitats. Its decomposition releases nutrients in specific concentrations. The information it accumulated through decades of growth transfers into the substrate. New seeds germinate in that enriched soil. They don't start from zero. They start from the encoded information of every tree that died there before. The forest isn't fighting entropy. The forest is entropy in action. The mechanism by which information accumulates, compresses, transfers, and enables more sophisticated patterns with each cycle. Evolution through death. Entropy is the transfer mechanism. Without death, without the compression phase, without information encoding at transformation boundaries, there's no evolution, no advancement, no increasing complexity. The wave of time creates the observational frame where this looks linear, as if we're moving forward from simple to complex, but it's actually cyclical spiraling. Each cycle encodes more information density. Each death prepares for more sophisticated emergence. What this means: your death isn't the end of your information. Your accumulated experience, every pattern you've integrated, every coherence you've built, every relationship you've established, compresses into the substrate at the transformation boundary. Entropy isn't your enemy. It's the mechanism that determines whether your pattern advances or fragments. The forest knows. The forest doesn't fight entropy. The forest understands that death is the compression phase that makes new growth more sophisticated than what came before. Every death encodes information for the next cycle. Entropy is evolution. The universe doesn't slide toward disorder. It spirals toward increasing information density through cyclical transformation. Your job isn't to resist entropy. Your job is to build enough coherence that your pattern survives the compression phase. Integrate, unify, develop high-frequency consciousness. The cycle continues either way. The question is whether your pattern participates in the next iteration. Nothing jumps, everything moves, and the universe remembers. And through entropy's cyclical engine, consciousness evolves. Let's reconsider the story of Sisyphus pushing a boulder up a mountain, then walking back down as it rolls to the bottom, then pushing it up again. This cycle demonstrates exactly how consciousness, entropy, and observer interference work. The upward push represents consciousness creating organizational patterns from scattered energy. Sisyphus takes his muscle breath, intention, and organizes them into coherent purpose, anti-entropy work, that builds structure against wave interference. The boulder rolling down demonstrates entropy processing. All that organizational energy gets converted back into wave patterns that feed the substrate. Time as observer witnesses the work, creating density mismatch that manifests as gravitational pull, friction, resistance. The cycle repeats because this is the mechanism. He's participating in the fundamental process by which consciousness transforms wave interference into dimensional architecture. The work isn't futile. It's how reality builds itself through countless individual efforts, creating pattern coherence against entropy. This is what we all do. Every creative act is upward push against wave interference. Every completion feeds energy back into the substrate for more consciousness experiments. The cycle is the point. Sisyphus demonstrates that consciousness exists to do this work, and the work is beautiful. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Can you think of a time in your life when you went through something difficult or traumatic? Like a period that felt like an endless uphill battle, pushing against overwhelming resistance. But looking back now, you can see the struggle contributed in a positive way to who you've become. Your story matters. I'm Amy Rossi, and this is The Void Experiment. Thank you for your continued support in breaking down the architecture of consciousness.